the stage with the accompaniment of Mike Milazzo, Mr. Bill Chambers.
I thought I told you to call me artist in residence. So recently, I visited my brother and my niece, my 3-year-old niece, and had the misfortune of going to the postmodern, dystopian American nightmare known as Chuck E. Cheese. You're probably familiar with the so-called entertainment center and restaurant, but if you're not, it's kind of as if Satan himself selected a bunch of random, deep anxieties of mine and created a personalized circle of hell where almost everything I hate happens in one combined experience. As soon as you walk in, you're greeted with this pungent stench of high school cafeteria grade, over-fried, overheated and industrial microwave food. The kind of food that you only eat in places where you don't want to be, like a hospital. The kind of food where they sell cheese with a Z because it's so unnatural they're legally prohibited from calling it cheese. And this smell is combined with that smell of little kids stink, which is where little kids don't get body odor, they just get that weird sort of burnt carpet sort of smell. Not unlike a meth addict that drinks lots of apple juice. And these little kids are everywhere, running around, shrieking, blood-curdling, everywhere. And then you look around and there's either the parents that choose to spend time with these kids, but a lot of them are just sitting on the sidelines, just pissed off that they have to be there, miserable, eating their concession stand waxy nachos. And then you look up and everything is so bright, and there's these like towering games, I guess. They're supposed to be fun. They're just blinking bloops and bleeps and bright lights and this freakish sort of carnival music. And this is before I even took 5 steps into the place. And I was like, I'm here for my niece. For some reason, her heaven is my hell. I'm not even going to think about it. We're just going to do this. And you walk in and it's so hot, so you come out of the freezing cold. It was Christmas time, and I immediately take my jacket off and I'm sweating like crazy. And my niece Lucy is like, oh, we hang our jackets up over here. So I'm like, all right, and we go over, and the things you hang your jacket on are about 4.5 feet tall because it's for little kids. So I hang it, realizing that my jacket's gonna get stepped on, and I kind of look over and see that it's right by the restrooms. And then I feel this little crack in my psyche, sort of like when a little like pebble hits your windshield, and then the crack slowly. And I'm like, okay, Lucy has a $10 gift certificate to this place. $10 worth of quarters is gonna last like 20 minutes here. But actually, the tokens are a quarter. You put $10 in and you get this huge thing of tokens. So I'm standing there sweating, just pretending to enjoy Lucy losing at this super fucking easy game. My brother kind of noticed my apprehension. He's like, if you want some tokens to go play some games, go for it. And I'm like, this is a little kid's place. What the fuck? Ooh, skee ball. So I go to start playing skee ball, and I'm really good at skee ball, and I'm doing very well. And then I notice there's kind of a line of people waiting behind me, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm here legally. I'm with a kid. Like, these games aren't specifically just for children. But then I realized how it might look to anyone else in the place. This sweaty guy with his shirt off, with his jacket off, covered in tattoos, shaved head, with no apparent kids around him, just playing skee ball. I'm like, well, maybe I'll give the other kids a chance. So then I spend the next few minutes just standing around Lucy, my niece, again, in this like river of just gross little kids running by. And it's like just wading through like a petri dish of bacteria and like colds that I'm sure I will get because I'm around kids. And that's when Chuck E. Cheese comes out. Chuck E. Cheese, the rat man pagan god. And he starts doing this dance, and the other people that work there are doing it, and no one is apparently enjoying themselves. However, everyone's taking part as if this is what they have to do. And I'm like, this job, the Chuck E. Cheese mascot job, has to be the worst job ever, or the best job, depending on the kind of person you are. But there's no in between. It's not just kind of a cool job or kind of sucks. You're either in it or you hate it. So he does this weird dance that all the kids are just swaying, transfixed by this hideous grin on his grotesque frozen face. And I seem to be the only person that's not utterly horrified by this situation. And at this point, the walls seem to be closing in on me, like a fisheye lens, like just these bright lights and machines and Chuck E. Cheese's face and like screaming kids. And right as I'm about to pull my service revolver out, blow my brains out, my brother's like, we're out of tokens. So I go to grab my jacket, which of course by this point has a bunch of damp, like children-sized sneaker prints, which who knows what they're tracing through in those restrooms. And I walk out and I'm just like at like ground zero, and I look down and I see my niece just thoroughly enjoying all the things she got with the tickets, most of which I won at Skee-Ball. Frozen stickers, Frozen. This is something kids like, I guess. And we're walking back to the car, and I don't want to smoke a cigarette in front of her because she's old enough to know what that is. And she kind of looks up at me and she's like, "Thank you for the tickets." And the look on that little adorable kid's face in that sincere moment made it all worth it. Barely. But it was inspiring. It inspired me to figure out ways that I can capture moments like that without going into something that will eviscerate my psyche. And one idea I had is next time I visit, I'm going to pull that sort of mind game with her where I'm like, "Oh, Chuck E. Cheese is for little girls. You're a big girl, right?" But if I do end up going to Chuck E. Cheese again, which is likely, I know from this experience that I'm getting totally hammered before that.